Hello everyone, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Thank you for joining me in my little corner of the internet where I talk all things planners, fountain pens, and fountain pen inks. And today I have a new pen day. I hummed and hawed over this pen for like quite a while. I'd say like a month or so before I suddenly decided to pull the trigger on this. I found this in stock at a Canadian fountain pen shop, which I was very happy about because I do love supporting Canadian fountain pen retailers. And also I didn't have to pay as much in shipping or any customs fees. So this is from Lay Wines. They are located in Toronto. And I was also able to get free shipping for how much my order cost. So that all bonuses. And basically every other place that I saw this pen, it was already sold out. And I was so surprised to find them in stock at Lay Wines. So yay. And I opened this box today. It arrived actually very quickly. I think I ordered it July 2nd and today is the 8th. Arrived, I say quickly for Canadian standards, but we also had the holiday and the weekend. So, okay. So it just is so beautifully wrapped with the tissue paper and their logo sticker. Oh, and I really try to keep these stickers, but you know me, I am terrible at that. So let's see. Oh, how lovely. Dear Karina, thanks so much for your order. I have an SD2 and I really enjoyed. Hope you do too. Best, Peter. How lovely is that? I'm going to remove the receipt from here. And then just a lovely little card. I love personalized touches like that. And yes, Peter said it in his post. It was the Esterbrook Estie. So let's take this out. But look at how well this is packaged. Like it's perfectly protected. And I may actually use this to ship another friend's package shortly. All right, so let's move this out of the way. And yes, we have here the Esterbrook, and you can tell from the color of the box, it is the Esterbrook Evergreen in gold trim. I didn't know if I wanted this pen, to be honest. When it first came out, I was trying to decide between this and a Franklin Christoph in emerald. And I let that sit with me for a while before I made any decision. And then when I thought I was ready to make that decision, this had sold out everywhere, but then I kept seeing it on people's social media and it grew on me more and more. And I had gotten to the point where I was seeing it everywhere on social media, but it was sold out at all the retailers. So I was getting really, really disappointed. And my other choice, the Franklin Christoph in emerald, while still beautiful, I found myself wanting this more over time. And I don't know if it was necessarily the FOMO or the actual color of it itself. But when I said to myself, no, if you're not going to get the Evergreen, then go ahead and get the Franklin Christoph. But then part of me was like, no, I didn't want the Franklin Christoph anymore. I wanted this one. And I think it was actually my friend Anne who really helped me figure that out. So thank you, Anne. I blame another pen on you. So let's open that up here. What I do like about this Esterbrook box, though, is that this one is actually customized for this pen, which is lovely. So then you get the typical red Esterbrook clamshell box, which is magnetized. And then when you open it, you've got the America's Original Reborn, the little envelope with the QR code for the warranty. It also comes with a cartridge, and there you have the Evergreen. Now, I have to say, this is my first Estie from the newer productions, the ones with the gold trim. All of my other Esties that I currently own, so for example, my Honeycomb, do not have the gold trim there. So I have the, I guess, older production of the Esties, but this is my first in the newer production. And let's just take a look at this. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it as much in person, but now that I see the complexities of the green with the black and just how that green shines under the light, it is stunning. So it also has that gold trim, and then you've got Esterbrook on the cap. And yes, it does have the push cap in here, which will help with making sure that it doesn't evaporate once it's closed. And then you have the gold-plated Yovo number 6 steel nib, the Esterbrook nib, and of course I got this in an extra fine. Now I am actually headed to the Pacific Northwest Pen Show, and I'm hoping that if I am able to get a time with Kirk Spear, he can grind this down to a needle point for me. But lovely. That is beautiful. I say that I never thought that I would get a green pen like this. And I think I'm in my green era right now. I look at the rest of my collection, and the other green pens that I have now are my Pilot Custom 74. I also have, let me grab it here, my Pelicon M800. And, oh, I forgot about this one. Here we go. My Waterman Karen in the Sea Green Shimmer. And I'm missing one. I know I'm missing one. It is my, here you are. My Platinum. That's a lot of green pens. Like these three pens were accumulated within the last like 6 months. And then these I've had for a while. I went from like so many brown pens to now here we are with the green pens, and it wasn't necessarily something I thought I'd see myself doing, but green is actually one of my favorite colors outside of the fountain pen hobby, and I am loving how that looks. So what I'm going to do here with this is I'm going to compare this to other pens in my collection, and then we'll go ahead and do a quick writing sample, and yeah, that'll be my review. Oh, so excited for it. Here we have the Esterbrook Estie in Evergreen, and then I'm going to show off the different Esties that I currently have in my collection. I've actually really decreased the amount of Esties that I have in my collection because now I have my Honeycomb, my Once in a Blue Moon, and my Lilac. And now I think with the Evergreen in there, that completes my collection. I do not need any more Esterbrook Esties. These are, and I said that ages ago that I didn't need any more Esties, but I think I've really narrowed it down to the colors that I really love. And they also all have different nibs. So this Estie has a needle point. This has an extra fine. This has an extra fine with a reverse architect. I am hoping to possibly get this in a needle point just because I do love how the needle point writes, but we'll see. We'll see. So those are all of my Esties currently. So yeah, my collection of Esties has definitely decreased in this last year and a bit. And then I'll compare this to the TWSBI Eco, the Pilot Custom 74. I'll compare it to the Memento Magico. And then I will also compare this to a Pilot Kakuno. So you can see the difference in sizing here. The Estie is definitely the longest and the biggest out of all of them. But then let's look at them uncapped. There they are, all uncapped, and you can now see that the TWSBI Eco and probably the Leonardo Memento Magico are longer than the Estie. But let's compare the grip section. So somebody had asked me about comparing the TWSBI Eco to the Esterbrook Estie, and you can see here how the Estie is definitely larger in grip, was it grip length, grip circumference, there we go, grip diameter, than the TWSBI Eco. I'll actually do a quick measurement of this for you. So the Esterbrook Estie is measuring at about 11.46 millimeters, and then if we put the TWSBI Eco in here, that measures at about 10.21 millimeters. And then let's also compare it to the Pilot Custom 74. Pilot Custom 74 is at about 10.29 millimeters. And then the Memento Magico actually I think is the largest grip section out of these ones. And this one's actually very comfortable for me. So this one is about 11.89 millimeters in the grip section. And then also lastly, just for comparison's sake, Yeah, the Pilot Kakuno, actually, depending on where you're measuring it, it's about 10.97. So the narrowest one out of the bunch here is the TWSBI Eco. If you find that comfortable, lovely. But for me personally, the comfort level is anything that's over the 11 millimeter diameter mark. That is just where my comfort level lies. All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick writing sample with the Esterbrook Estie. So here I am in my Hobonichi A5 notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. I have my pen profile stamp from Everyday Explorers Co. And then I'm just going to do a quick dip test here of the ink. And now I'm trying to remember which ink is this. Let's see. So here we have the brand. This is Esterbrook. And the model is Estie. And the nib is an extra fine, and the color is Evergreen. And it is inked, or dip tested with Pelican, Edelstein, Olivine. The nib feels like it could use some work. This is a beautiful green resin, and I'm so happy to add this to my now complete Estie collection. The extra fine nib could use a little tuning, but I'm also thinking I want to get this ground down to a needle point. I was able to purchase this for under $300 Canadian and not pay any shipping or customs, but it's still expensive for a steel nib that may need work. Overall, I do love the pen, but I don't think I need any more Esties. So there we have my newest pen, the Esterbrook Estie in Evergreen, and I don't regret that at all. It is a lovely addition to my Estie collection, and I'm thinking that my Estie collection is complete. I have a green now, and I'm in my green phase, and I absolutely love it. And I'm also becoming, well, I have become, and I am really intentional about my purchases. And this one I really thought about for quite a while before I decided to pull the trigger and make sure that basically all the stars were aligned to make sure that I could purchase this one. And again, purchasing from a Canadian retailer like Lay Wines is also such a joy because I can support Canadian fountain pen retailers, but then also I didn't have to pay for shipping or customs fees, which is a bonus. All right, but that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. I'm also going to do a separate video to try and find the perfect ink pairing for this. I know Pelican Edelstein Olivine also works well, but that's currently inked in my Pilot Custom 74, so I have to think of a different green to go with this. Watch out for that in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching and have yourselves a great day.